Okay, guys, my name is Andrew Ziemba, and welcome in to my YouTube channel. Okay, those of you who may or may not know me, I have not been on YouTube in about a month. Okay, it's understandable. High school, teenager, finals, end of the year shit. So I kind of put YouTube on the back burner. I've been neglecting it. I really don't want to neglect it any further, though. I want to get back on the hall. I want to get back on the horse, as the old cliche goes. I want to crank out some videos. But right here, right now, we're not here to talk about wrestling. Okay? However, speaking of wrestling, there is a pay per view for the WWE this Sunday, Money in the Bank. And not only will I be giving you a review for Money in the Bank, I will also be giving you a bold predictions video, maybe Saturday afternoon or Saturday night prior to it, similar to what I did for WrestleMania 31. Okay, so you guys can look forward to that. Um, Also, earlier in my YouTube stages, um, in addition to my wrestling content, I also like to give um, reviews on books that I liked, and I wanted to give you guys an insight. I wanted to give you guys, I want you guys to get to know me better. Um, I'm a big fan of books. I love reading. That's one of my hobbies, and I want to share that with you guys. So I haven't really done one in a while. However, we're gonna start that back up today. That's what we're here for. Okay. So we're not here to talk about wrestling. We're here to talk about books right now, and I'm here to review one single solitary book, and it's one of the newest books on the market. Okay, by none other than Stephen King. Last week was the last week. Um, yeah, last week or the week prior to that, uh, Stephen King came out with his newest book, labeled Finders Keepers, the second book in the trilogy. Okay, for Mr. Bill Hodges. Okay, the detective that was introduced in Mr. Mercedes. Okay, speaking of Mr. Mercedes, great book. What a thriller. However, as good as that book is, Stephen King's newest, Finders Keepers, is that much better. Okay, let me guys show the cover. Great fine artwork here. You got his title. You got the blood dripping down the book. You got it just seeping down right into the lettering. As you can see, the notebook plays a very major part in the plot of Finders Keepers. Then you got the sycamore tree in the back. There's a trunk. You see a trunk right here on the side. Also, the blood raining down. You got praise for Mr. Mercedes, well deserved, by the way. You got the inside flaps to tell you about it right there. You have Stephen King with his guitar over his shoulder. Speaking of guitars, I just finished Revival about a few months ago, a book that came out last November. Very big part to do with the guitarist, a rhythm guitarist, which Stephen King is, by the way. He's in a rock and roll band part-time with other authors called the Rock and Roll Remainders. Anyway, this book is Stephen King at his best. It reminds me of Stephen King of old, to be honest with you. Stephen King of the 80s, Stephen King of the 90s, to really give you just a taut thriller, the suspense almost unbearable. You can't put the book down. I can't even speak, I'm so fucking excited. Anyway, this book actually in no way is Bill Hodges' book. Okay? New characters are introduced, and the first third of this book is pure master storytelling. The way that Stephen King can introduce his characters, he just makes it look effortless. We were introduced in 1978 to the psychotic killer Morris Bellamy. He is obsessed over John Rothstein's A Reclusive Writer, his character Jimmy Gold, and the Jimmy Gold trilogy. And he's obsessed with it, and he's also obsessed and infuriated at the fact that John Rothstein, the writer, has led Jimmy Gold down a path that he's not too fond with. He believes that Jimmy Gold has sold out. Morris believes that. So he sets out, I guess you can say, to right that wrong. He goes to John Rothstein's house. He's a reclusive writer. A lot of reviews have been saying it's J.D. Salinger-esque John Rothstein. Um, Him and two other of his cohorts, they go to rob John Rothstein in the safe with his moleskins, the notebooks, which supposedly, which we'll find out later in the novel, have finished the two more installations of the Jimmy Gold novels. So John Rothstein egging Morris on, and eventually Morris shoots him in the head, and he is dead. Okay, that is the first. This is the span of 4 decades, 1978 to 2010, 2000 to 2014. In the first third of the book, master storytelling. You really can get behind the main protagonist, Pete Sobers. You can really get behind him. I love the way Stephen King really makes a young man, the age of 13, seem so intelligent, so driven. That's really what Pete Sobers is. He's a bright kid, wants to major in some sort of the literature arts form. You know, he's just a kid that you can get behind. His family's going through a tough time, especially with the economy just dropping out in 2008. His father getting injured in the Mercedes accident from Mr. Mercedes. So you can really feel for him. And as the novel progresses, you can see he finds the trunk where Morris hides it before he goes to jail. He found the moleskins. So while Morris and Pete, don't get me wrong, they're two different people on the opposite end of the spectrum. He's a bright, intelligent, with a future, okay, a young man, while Morris Bellamy, of course, is a psychotic killer. However, but their love for literature, their love for just reading, their love for John Rothstein is unmistakable. And that's where they correlate, and I think that's great. It's wonderful. And then we get introduced to Bill Hodges once again. Holly, Jerome, the heroes from Mr. Mercedes. And it's just a thriller. Actually, it's not really a murder mystery, to be honest with you, because we know who the killer is. We know how he operates. We know what he's capable of. I'm not going to spoil anything too much. I know some people are like, hey, spoiler alert. Okay, alright. Get your head out of your asshole. I'm not going to fucking give you any spoilers, okay? However, he does go on a bit of a killing spree after he gets out of prison for raping. I am going to give you that for raping. 35 years, I believe he gets out. That's the one thing I kept him sane, looking for those notebooks, okay? Now that he's out, he's going to look for them. And just the the points of view that Stephen King brings you, he goes back from Pete's vision, he goes back from Morris's vision, he goes back and forth between Tina's, Linda's, his mother and sister, not in that particular order. Their vision, just all intertwined, all the loose ends being tied up. That's what you can really get behind in a Stephen King novel. Almost guarantee it. The loose ends coming to a head to reach an ultimate climax. Okay? All leads, I'm not going to spoil it like I said at the end. Just the race against time. What you can get behind is Pete Sobers, now 18, just rushing to save his family any way that he can. That's what makes this novel so great, and I believe that much better than Mr. Mercedes. So guys, I would highly recommend Finders Keepers. If you can't tell from my excitement already that and my passion, Finders Keepers definitely is a keeper, pun intended. And it leads off with a cliffhanger, actually. The main antagonist from the Mr. Mercedes novel, Brady Hartsfield, the Mercedes Killer, he's introduced and really shows you that this isn't Bill Hodges' trilogy. This isn't Morris Bellamy's trilogy. This isn't Pete Sobers' trilogy. This actually, in fact, is Brady Hartfield's trilogy. Everything is revolved around him. If not for what he did to his father, when he ran over him, injured his legs, injured his lower half, Pete Sobers wouldn't really have the drive to try to help his family. really revolves around Brady Hartsfield and the encounters that him and Bill Hodges have when he's in a so-called comatose state, air quotations because of the cliffhanger at the end. They're really chilling, to be honest with you. Um, at the end, when the picture frame goes clack, you'll know what I mean when you read the novel. If you haven't read it already, you guys know what I'm talking about. Really setting up for a gruesome Stephen King-esque finale, The Suicide Prince. I can't wait. I'm hoping it comes out next year. Once again in June, Mercedes 2014, Finders Keepers 2015, and Suicide Prince 2016. Guys, if you're along with me with a big fan of Stephen King and just hard-boiled detective, murder mystery novels, and crime novels, I know you guys are in great suspense also. I know you can't wait. So once again, Finders Keepers, great novel, great read, written about 430 pages. Not too big of a read in my opinion. About maybe 5 to 7 days for a novel. For me anyway. 5 out of 5 I would give it. And just go and buy it, guys. Go and buy it. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you're not into reading, I picked up my first Stephen King book back when I was in 7th grade. Read Misery, first novel of mine. How apropos, Misery, about an obsessive fan and the writer. The backdrop to this one also. So, just get yourself involved in books. All your troubles will go away around you. You'll just get enveloped and you'll like it. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you right now. I appreciate you listening to my voice. I appreciate you listening to my reviews. Like I said, you can look forward to my review of Money in the Bank later this week and the predictions video. And if you like the video, you guys know what to do. Just fucking smash that subscribe button. Greatly helps out my channel. Smash that fucking like button. Greatly helps out my channel. Favorite, comment, rate, all that shit, all that good stuff. And if you didn't like the video, well, I'm sorry for that. And hopefully I can make it better for you next time. If not, then you don't have to do anything. You can just click the X and not listen to me anymore. But for those of you who are remaining, I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Alright, guys, have a good night. Peace out.